outside hockey. You know you're in a good place, so you're kind of even more excited to come. Then you know 90% of the guys, and the two new guys or three new guys that are in a group, or four, you can tell right away they're good guys. So it doesn't change this much of like trying to know the guys and talk about the families during the summer. But personally, I had a good summer, even if it was short. Practiced really hard, so paid off during tests and stuff. So I'm excited to see how it's going to pay off in the ice.
You've gone through a bunch of these over the years. How is your approach in terms of mentally, physically prepared for a camp? How is it different for you, or what have you learned over the years?
I mean, it's for all my years it's been the same. I mean, I'm not the kind of player. I'm not gonna, fortunately, score 70, right? I'm not the most skilled individual. I have to find a way to what can I do to be good for the team, and so this summer was emphasis on that. What can I do to help the team? So I practice hard and focusing on those details. And when you've done everything you could during the summer, then there is no point of being stressed, right? You go on the ice and you do what you can do, and if it's not enough, at least you give your 100%, right? So this has been my mindset since the beginning, and it's still the same.
How infectious was it? You were, like we said, you were a pro's pro. You did the right things. You're always in the right place to develop that kind of chemistry on a line with your teammates. So you're all on the same page.
Well, that's especially for us. I mean, we're fourth line, right? And we're gonna be a line that the coach, we have to play kind of a perfect game for the coach to trust us. And if one of us decides to play his own rhythm, then we're all screwed, right? So it's much more important for us to be like a really unified group. So the other two guys have to understand my way to play, and have to understand their way to play, so we can make sure that we get the 100% of each guy. Then we're sure that we're going to play the right game for the team, and we're going to help the team.
Pierre, last year the mentality every game, and obviously the early in the season was, hey, game by game, this is a new team, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
This past week, we've heard George and Gerard say that, in messages to Stastny and Patches, and those two also affirm this, in that the excitement of the mentality of wanting to win now, that they're going after these guys because this team can win.
Yeah.
Does that mentality carry over to you guys, or do you want to try to keep it game by game, or where are you
I don't think those two things don't go hand in hand. You're trying to get the best addition for your team to be a solid group. Doesn't mean that you're not going to want to focus game at a time. You have the ambition to win a cup. Doesn't mean that you don't think about October 4th, right? And I think that it's been one of our main key points last year. Our strongest points that we never focused on game of Saturday before the one on Thursday, right? There was always like emphasis on Thursday. Think about that. Give you 110%, and we'll see after. And it hasn't changed. We're still a brand new team. We still have a lot of doubters out there, so right now we're preparing camp for the first game of preseason, and it's going to be one game at a time. Those 2 points in the beginning of the season are as important, or maybe even more important than the last 2 points, right? So we can talk as much as we want about the cup and playoff and everything. It doesn't matter right now. The only thing we can do is have a good camp and focus on those on that first game.
Day one of training camp, back on the ice, back with the guys, back with the fans.
It's like I have a mixed feelings a little bit all around, because you want to do good, right? And you're not you're divided in a lot of groups, so you're not the normal amount. So it's kind of a tough practice because you're short. But then you're excited because you see the fans. So sometimes you go a little too hard because you want the fans to yell a bit. And then you have your teammates you haven't seen in 2-3 months, right? So we in Europe don't have the ice for the summer, so we almost don't practice on the ice. So when we come back here, we're kind of excited to be on the ice with everybody. So it's a good feeling. I mean, I'm a hockey player, right? What I do is play hockey, and this is the best time of the year when it restarts.
How much more comfortable are you this time around than a year ago? Forget all the success, just in terms of knowing what to expect, knowing certain roles, knowing guys, and kind of helping the younger guys now get to the point where they need to be.
I don't know if it's really a huge difference in a group. You come in the locker room, and last year, you had that first day where you kind of a little bit anxious, and you meet a lot of guys you didn't know, and you realize that everybody was a cool guy, and we had a tight family kind of quick. Now we already know we have a tight group, right? So that's kind of, maybe that changed a little bit, but the biggest part is you come back here. I mean, we have our house, my family, we settle down right away. The staffs are exactly like they were 3 months ago when we left. Super simple, unpack and down. yeah, let's go, let's start the season. So that's the biggest part, I think, on feeling a little bit more comfortable. But then coming in a room and everything, it's always the same thing. You have to come and compete. So you're just excited until you go on the ice to make sure you compete as hard as you can.
Here, talk about that mentality right away, getting on the ice. You have referees out there, and you already see guys chirping at the referees, and almost like mid-season form.
Well, we are a competitive bunch. It's as simple as that. You don't put your gears on and give us 2 different colors with the name in the back, with the scoreboard and everything, and not expect us to be want to win the game. I mean, otherwise we have no room being here. So the referees were there. They make a few mistakes, but that's like a lot of them, so that's okay. No, I mean we won the game, so we had a good game. It's competitive. I mean, like I said, you practice the whole summer with different guys, right? All of us, we don't practice the whole group together, right? So when we come, you're excited to play with guys. Now it's the beginning of camp. Coach are mixing a little bit the lines, so you get to play with some guys that you usually don't play. So it's fun too. Then it's a game, so something happened and it's not fair. Then you make sure the ref know.
You mentioned kind of feels different. That's easier.